So your club situation, you leave Melbourne City. Was there a temptation to stay one more year in the A-League?
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
Just because, stay there for game time, get more experience. Obviously, I hadn't played a lot of games before I went away, but I also felt like I had achieved as much as I'd wanted to achieve in the league. Like, not in the sense, not achieved, but like, I feel like if I had a really good season the next year, I'd be in the same position I was at the end of that season.
It wasn't going to heighten your value or the
Exactly.
suitors coming after you. It wasn't going to go, wow, there's now 100 big clubs coming in for you. You already
Yeah.
had a big club
Yeah.
that essentially you were part of anyway.
Yeah.
With the City Football Group. So
Exactly. That's what I mean. Not achieved, but more like, I think I'd kind of.
the opportunities
know
that could open up for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. It had already opened up.
I understand. So it was a hard decision. Like there was a right way and a wrong way.
Yeah.
Looking at it both ways.
Definitely,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
So you went with it. Why did you go that way? So the offer from Manchester City was obviously enticing, and you decided to go down that path.
Yeah. So we had a couple of offers, but the offer from Man City kind of came, and then they told us, like, we said we're not going to sign unless we know what's happening with the loan deal, and because we knew obviously I was going to go out on loan, but we just didn't know where. So they came forward to us with the Celtic offer, and I kind of got a call from the gaffer, Brendan Rodgers, and he just seemed like a really nice guy, and I think the more we talked about it, the more we thought it'd be a really good option, and I still stick to that. I still think we made the best option, the best decision at the time. Obviously, unfortunate you can't account for things like that.
No.
ACL on debut, but still got next year.
Yeah, because there was again rumours and things like that. It was like it wasn't a Brendan Rodgers decision. Well,
Yeah,
by the sounds of it, he talked to you, so
Yeah.
it sounds like it was.
I read those as well. Obviously, I don't know. I talked to him on the phone. He seemed like he was pretty keen on it, but who knows what's going on behind the scenes?
With getting there and trying to fit in and get up to speed with a different speed, which it is overseas. How did you find that experience?
I think if I had gone straight off the back of the World Cup or straight off the back of the season, I would have been a lot better than I had like 7, 8, maybe 9 weeks off after the World Cup where I was kind of trying to decide what I was doing. They were like halfway through their season when I went in, and I was really unfit when I first went in. That's why it kind of took me so long to get going. And then obviously a different style of play. It's really fun.
You weren't working in between?
No, I wasn't that. Like a little bit, but like it's different when you're in training and when you're in games, especially because it wasn't like if I'd been playing A-League and then I'd had 6 weeks off and I was going back into the A-League, I would have been okay after 2-3 weeks. But it's like obviously a step up from the A-League. So it was like I've been playing A-League, I had 6 weeks off, so you kind of drop off, and then I was going into an even higher level and higher intensity, higher physicality of football. So it was kind of an even bigger jump.
So if you had the chance to talk to a young kid, 16, 17, who's got the opportunity to go overseas now or in the future, what would you say to them in terms of how they should prepare themselves mentally and physically to what they're about to walk into?
I think stay in the A-League.
Or stay in the A-League for a bit longer?
I think stay in the A-League for a bit longer. I think...
But what I'm saying is when they're eventually ready and they make the decision?
You just got to be strong mentally more than anything, I think. Yeah. I think you can't go in expecting to be the top dog straight away, or, you're kind of like, when I went into Melbourne City as a young player, I was 17, I was at the bottom of there's like a tree, think about it like a tree, I was at the bottom of the tree, slowly climb my way up to the top. When you go to a new club, you start at the bottom again, and you've got to like you got to crawl all the way, like you got to climb all the way back up to the top. Like you can't go in there expecting to be like people to respect you or anything like that. You just got to work for everything you have.
You mentioned they stay in the A-League, so do you regret going? Or?
No, but I think...
But the A-League's a good competition to get your grounding.
100%. I think if you can't play... I see a lot of young players now saying, I'm not getting game time in the A-League, I'm going to go overseas. It's like, if you can't play in the A-League, what are you going to go do overseas? Like, you're wasting your time.
So set a foundation here.
100%, yeah.
Yeah.
That's always what my dad said to me, When I was coming out of AIS, I had a lot of offers to go overseas, we went to... Man City before I went to Melbourne City, we went to like Schalke, we had Ajax, we had a lot of clubs, and obviously it was a little bit hard for me as well because I already had a dual nationality, so I couldn't get a work visa to play overseas. But like, it was never even a decision for me. It was always going to the A-League, play first grade, go across as a first grade footballer rather than, go in as a youth team footballer and then try and work my way up there. Like,
yeah. What was the one thing that hit you between the eyes when you got into the training sessions over there with Celtic?
At Celtic, how physical everyone was. Like, you get some players in the A-League who are just, like, freaks. Like, physically, like, really quick, really strong. Everyone is really quick, really strong.
Yeah.
Like, everyone. You know, like, it's hard because you're coming up into 1v1 situations and you're used to skinning people, but now it's, like, 2 times harder because you're beating one, but then the second one's just coming in, boom, you're getting dropped. Like,
Scott Borwn, there's that famous video of him when he gets involved in this tussle in a I think it's a Scottish League game, and he gets up and he starts dancing in front of the crowd about how much he loved the physicality. Yeah. Have you ever tried to nutmeg him at training, and then what happened if you did?
I haven't tried to nutmeg him. We had a little incident with one of the young boys that came up, Armstrong, Oko Flex. He came up one session. I think he's 16.
Oko Flex?
Yeah, Oko Flex, yeah. And he called nutmeg as well, and he tried to nutmeg Bruni. And Bruni absolutely crunched him.
Brutal.
It was bad, yeah. And then they kind of like stopped the session as well, and like, you can't do that. Like, the coach was like got involved and stuff because he's like, if you do that, like, Bruni's gonna break your leg.
Oh, he had to go at the young kid for trying it rather than for Brownie for.
Yeah, well, he said to him, he said, if you do that, like, I can't stop Bruni. He's gonna break your leg. Like, it's your choice if you want to do it.
So you haven't tried that on?
No.
Fair enough.
I'm glad I didn't as well.
Celtic Rangers. You've obviously been in the stadium when
crazy.
Like, you haven't been out there for it.
No, I haven't been out there yet, but
it makes you want to be out there for it.
Yeah, it's crazy game. Such a big game.
Is there an edge in the air? Because you get that feeling off television that there's something happening here.
It's like really
supernatural type.
Yeah. It's like really like there's a lot of tension in the air, and it's like when you go to like a lot of the Celtic games, like we get sold out crowd every game, but then it's really like it's a good vibe. You know, everyone's cheering. But then at like the Rangers game, it's like one bad touch. It's like everyone's like really on edge, and like everyone's just desperate to win. Like, and rightfully so. It's a big game.
You could have ended up playing in them if it wasn't for that horrible incident, the ACL. Have you figured out how it happened or why it happened, or it's just happened and you have to get on with life?
It's just happened, you know. Like, I can go over, like, I kind of like, I went to change direction. My left foot slipped, and then mid-slide I got caught in the grass again, and then my knee kind of just went boom, boom, because it was like, it stopped, and then it went. But it's just happened, you know. I wasn't like crying after the game or anything. I was all right. I was like, it's part of football.
Yeah.
Just deal with it. Come back better next year.
On your debut, though.
Yeah, really unlucky, right?
Was it a bit like your Socceroo's debut? You were just ready, and you didn't really mind when it happened, but you were ready when you were called upon?
I mean, I was actually really happy with the way it worked out. I think if I had gone in and had my debut straight away, I don't think it would have gone as well for me. I think I had the right amount of time to like adapt and slowly get into the groove of things, and I think I started training really, really well right up before my debut, and I was doing well, and I felt more confident in the squad, like just around the boys. And
were you playing reserve team matches as well?
Yeah, I was playing before reserve team matches, and then before my debut, I think for the last 2 games, I was in the squad, and then I was in the squad one game, and then on the bench one, I think, and then the next one, I debuted. Yeah, I got off the bench, and I come on, and I was feeling really good as well on the field. But then it just happened, and it is what it is.